So starting the test drive in this Altima here, I like being able to kind of toggle the sport mode with this button here, and you'll see where that D is right there. When you're in the sport mode, it lets you know because you get that small little S next to it, which really allows it to move out. I mean, it'll win some races, but it won't win most races, but still, it's nice to have that. But the Midnight Edition package itself, I really like what it does to the looks here. Really think it's worth the money if you like this kind of thing. A lot of Altima buyers don't appreciate the flashiness of the Midnight Edition, but me personally, I like having everything blacked out. I like the wheels. I like how the grille looks with the LED lights. So me personally, if I was in the market for something like this, I'd go and get the Midnight Edition package if money were no option. No object, excuse me. Now this car, as much as it's meant to be like a commuter car, it's not necessarily meant to be quick, fast, it still does quite a bit for the powertrain that it has. It has a 2.5 naturally aspirated 4-cylinder. Paired with this Xtronic CVT, it moves very well for what it is. And the overall driving dynamics I like. It's not overly stiff, it's like on the looser end, but it's not too loose, if that makes sense. It just makes it more comfortable to drive. But in the SR trim, I like that we get this upgraded 12.3-inch screen, which has the wireless CarPlay, Android Auto compatibility. I like having the push button start. I like that we finally get a USB-C port here with the USB-A, so I can use either or, as opposed to some manufacturers are either staying with the USB-As or they're doing all USB-Cs. Nissan kind of knows its customer base, if you will. But the SR trim, one of the reasons I like it so much, the Midnight Edition package is great, but the SR trim with the orange stitching, that really makes a big difference on the sport interior, in my opinion. It just makes it look more expensive in a sense. Love having the sunroof too, but when you're sitting in here, that's what really kind of pops out, gets your attention, is going to be the orange trim. And visibility wise, I mean, the hood slopes down, I can barely see it. The steering wheel, how I have it placed, is perfect over the hump of the dash, so I don't even notice that at all. And then even though the screen is kind of up and out, it's still underneath the hood line, so it's not messing my visibility up at all. And if I were to have to use it as a distraction or whatever, like if I was trying to change the station, it's not like I have to go down here. I can do this while I'm keeping my eyes on the road. Now I'm gonna get the sport mode ready to go here in a minute as I get ready to accelerate getting on the interstate. So I'm gonna put it in a sport mode. I'm gonna try to give it a pull. I won't be able to do a full sprint, but I'm gonna try to get over a lane and punch it if I have the opportunity. Here we go. So not bad in terms of, you know, if you need to pass somebody really quick, get back over, you can do that. I want to give a big thanks once again to John Roberts Nissan here in Manchester, Tennessee for allowing me to review this car today. I'll leave a link below in the description. If you're looking to find the best price on one of these closer to home, click that second link down below. It takes just a minute to fill out your information, and I'll make sure the local dealers are fighting to get you the best price on this or whatever new vehicle you might be interested in. I'm gonna get over because it's kind of bouncy on this side of the interstate. And the wind is starting to pick up quite a bit. But all in all, I mean, you get a nice car here. The powertrain is really, I feel like, I don't want to say where it lacks, but where it's still one of those few cars that hasn't gone all hybrid or hasn't put a turbo in. You just get this naturally aspirated 4-cylinder, and you know, people still like these. They're simple, they're easy, they look good. You can get pretty good financing on them, and that's why they're still selling like they are. Even as the Rogue and the Kicks try to, even the Sentra start to take into the Altima's market share, specifically from other Nissan buyers, I feel like this is still something that a percentage of the population needs. They want something that's a bit bigger on the inside, something that rides a bit better because of the longer wheelbase, and something that isn't necessarily so futuristic. This still feels like a modern car. It just has all of the things that I don't want upgraded, like AC controls aren't in the screen, the volume knobs here. I have standard cruise control. There's a button on my shift knob. I don't have to turn something and then do this if it's in this certain mode, whatever. So a lot of people still miss these kind of cars. They still appreciate these kind of cars over the more futuristic ones. So again, there's still a market for this even at this 33 grand price point. And with all that being said, this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2026 Nissan Altima SR Midnight Edition.